Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to spend some time with me on the video, because today, guys, I'm going to show you a lure color that I've been using the last probably about year and a half that is the #1 color for pre-spawn bass. This is something that's totally unique to just this one lure. There's only one lure that this color comes in. And guys, I'm going to give you guys some tips and advice on how to fish it, talk a little bit about the conditions that it works in, and let you guys know where you can get that in here in today's video. Also, guys, quick invitation. I'd like to invite everybody to please consider subscribing here at Intuitive Angling. It's free and easy. If you guys subscribe and hit that like button on the videos, share the videos, it's a good way to help the channel out. And also, if you want to go further, guys, and become a channel member of Intuitive Angling, just go to my homepage, click on the join button for information, and channel members get private videos every week that are not seen by the public and access to my personal email address for your fishing questions. So I'll have all that stuff linked in the description. Really appreciate that. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you the color and the bait, and then we're going to get into describing the situation. This is the Megabass S-Crank 1.2 in the E2 craw color, E2 craw. Guys, this is like, again, I'm colorblind, but I know this is a craw pattern, but you can see the coloration, how it sort of fades into different colors. Just a really, really unique looking crawdad pattern. This is like probably the most unique looking crawdad pattern that I've ever seen. And guys, I'm telling you what, last year, this was my #1 color in the pre-spawn, and some conditions I'm gonna get ready to show you guys about here and talk about. But I'll link this in the description, guys, in my Tackle Warehouse link. I'll put the Megabass S-Crank 1.2, and just scroll down till you get to the E2 craw color, but that's it right there. That thing good looking? Okay, let's talk a little bit about when it works good. Now, everybody knows that a crawdad pattern crankbait works really good in the springtime of the year, particularly in the pre-spawn. Now, the S-Crank 1.2, guys, this is a situational bait, because a lot of the traditional pre-spawn crankbaits are like your rock crawlers and wiggle warts, and those are pretty good when the water temperatures are a little bit cooler, like down into the upper 40s, lower 50s. But the Megabass S-Crank 1.2, this bait is going to run probably about 6-7 foot deep on 10-pound test line with a long cast. At the very most, I've gotten it down to 6 or 7 feet. So this particular bait, it targets, in my opinion, more of that zone, sort of that 2.5 to 5 foot zone is going to be the key depth with this. So in order for those fish to be positioned to where the S-Crank 1.2 will bite it, and this is the only color that it comes in, the only bait that it comes in this color is this particular one. In order for those fish to bite it, you got to have the right set of conditions, and it has to do with your water temperature in correlation with your water visibility. So the perfect situation for this bait, guys, right here is when the water temperature is in the mid to upper 50s. Now, a lot of times this is going to be probably about a 2 or maybe 3 week period, depending upon your weather patterns. But I've caught them in it as low as 53, 54 degrees and as high as in the 60s. But to me, the sweet spot is 55 to 58, 59 degrees is perfect with it. Next with it is you got to have the right water clarity. This is a bait that's going to work better in off-colored water. So you don't want to have dirty water, but you don't want to have clear water. The water visibility that this works in better than anything else is sort of that maybe 1 to 2.5 foot of visibility. 12 inches to 15 inches, maybe 18 inches visibility, absolutely perfect. And then in correlation with that, it even makes it better if you have a little bit of wind, like maybe 10, 15 mile an hour wind, and some overcast. You don't have to have the overcast, especially if the water's dirtier, but I like to have, perfect situation, guys, would be 55 degree water temperature, water visibility of about 15 inches, overcast sky with about a 10 to 15 mile an hour wind. When you get those set of conditions out there, I can promise you there's not another color that will outperform that E2 craw right here than that. A couple of different things with this as far as the areas you want to fish it in. This is a pretty much relegated to rock cover. I have found personally that during the pre-spawn like that, bass prefer rock or grass or gravel or clay a lot more than wood. So most of the time I'm fishing a square bill crankbait around wood, deflecting it off of wood. But during the pre-spawn with this specific color, I'm cranking rock, and I want to be hitting rock when I do it. So my favorite areas are like channel swing banks, just rocky banks, even bluff banks if they don't drop off real sharp. Riprap is really good with it. Again, gravel banks, I've caught them on clay banks with it, as long as they fall into that criteria of the right water temperature and water clarity. And just use some type of a medium retrieve, just a medium stop and go retrieve. And another thing that will help you out with it is normally on a square bill crankbait, I use heavier line. I'll usually use 17, 20 pound line. Not on this situation. With this particular bait during the pre-spawn, I go down on my line size. So I'll throw this thing most of the time on 10-pound test, Seaguar and Vizex fluorocarbon. A lot of people do not throw a square bill crankbait on 10-pound tests, but guys, you can get a square bill crankbait down to depths that they've never seen a square bill crankbait with by going to light line. Even on the 1.2 model, a smaller one, I've even dropped down to 8-pound line with it. Don't be afraid. I've never broke one off with it, but you're going to be able to attain at least two more foot of depth by going to that light line. And that's critical a lot of times in that little bit colder water. So anyway, guys, I wanted to clue you in on that. Megabass, S-Crank 1.2, E2 craw pattern, links in the description there. Just give it a try, man. Just pick up one or two of them. Try it when you get in those situations that I'm talking about. And it's something they don't see. I mean, how many of you guys have ever thrown something like that? The fish do not see this color. And when you get it in that water clarity that I'm talking about, that water clarity range, there's something about the way this thing stands out and glows, and just the presence of it in that visibility of water. It just looks highly edible, man. It just looks like something the fish want to bite, and they do bite it, man. So anyway, give it a try, guys. Hope it helps you catch a few. See you.